Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So I remind you that this day today is the last day of the week that I am gonna be alone because in the next days I will be with all the other people, 29 people that came for the trip with me here in Giza. So I won't be alone. Today is one of those other days that I am not really aligned in myself. I'm a bit tired, so I think I'm not gonna be very sharp today. This is what happened um, when you're watching me every day, and the evolution of my process being here every day with you. So this is it. All this coughing. I guess I had this coughing um, since March, so I think I already had the COVID. Uh, so I don't because it's normal that I had this coughing all the time. So maybe I had it. I was healed. I don't know. So who knows? Because it's not normal for me to have constantly this. So I don't know. Or maybe I have to with myself a bit more. So today we the topic to discuss today is related to the plexus, and because so it's also related with food, yeah, with food. So um, what we are also talking is during the physical aspect of the month of Libra, um, we will be talking about duality and polarities. So uh, we will talk about food and fast. Taking the information that we have spoken yesterday, um, we can understand that the reality, everything that exists, is created by the conjunction of atoms that are trying to save energy. So the atoms create the molecule, and so they create the um, the chemical elements. So these chemical elements um, they organize in such a way to save the energy as much as they can. So they structure themselves to hold it, to stay still and 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 save all the energy that they could. So this is like inorganic structure that is us the crystals, the minerals, everything that is very rigid. Okay, but then we have the other way in which in which the atoms are related, which is the exchange of this energy, and by exchange it means loss and earn energy. Okay, so this means that this structure transforms itself constantly in different things, trying to look for more energy because they are wasting energy while they transform themselves. So this movement makes the concept of organisms. Okay, so we have the inorganic structure and the organic, which is that they move and transform themselves constantly. So talking only about the organics aspects, they, in order to change, to transform, and to adapt, they lose energy. So they have to go out and to look for new energy, to earn energy, so they could be in balance. The first process of looking for that information is when a proton or an electron are looking for the opposite charge so they could create energies. The negative of the electron, the positive of the proton, they are looking for the energy of the other one in order to create a balance with energy. So they are searching for that energy outside. So through thousands of years of evolution, this same process of the proton and the neutron and the electron has been evolving to look for other ways of absorbing that energy, which would be by photosynthesis in the vegetal realms, by absorbing the light, transforming the light, and then other organisms would eat the plants, and plants would and the other animals would eat those other animals. So so this change of energy constantly is what we call feeding. Basically, is to feeding. The process of feeding is the exchange of energy that has been evolving from the atoms trying to balance themselves. The word for the concept of eating, of feeding, would be best. The best way to say it. So the concept of feeding, it's about to help something to grow. Okay, that's the origin of the word, would be that, to help to grow. Food, the origin of the word Fodian, would be that, to give the opportunity to grow. So 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 this would mean that when you receive energy, you transform your energy, and the cells starts to divide, so they grow, they expand. So to feed yourself would be to allow yourself to grow, to expand your structure, your system. Because of this, the biology, the organic system is constantly looking for energy in the outside that can fill up the voids, the spaces, the gaps that I have because of the transformation, of the loss of energy during the process of transformation. So that's what feeding would mean, to fill up a space that is void of energy. So we have to look into the process of feeding through 3 different levels of consciousness, which are the subconscious, the unconscious, and the conscious. And the 3 of them will be crossed by the concept of emotion. And why is that? Because emotion means energy. Remember that we have spoken about this, that emotion basically is the pulse, the electrical pulse created by the reaction of something that is happening outside. So basically, the pulses of energy that we receive from outside, our brain understand that information, that electrical pulses, as emotion, but it's energy. So we relate everything with energy. So if food is energy, we will relate food with emotions. Okay, food is energy, energy is emotion. Emotion are electrical pulses, negative and positive. Okay, so what we receive as this energy, we can understand that all food that we have in our lives, they are related with something emotional. If I'm eating a sandwich, I will remember in my cells, I will remember the first time I ate one, the one that my mom did to me, the I don't know, all the situations and emotions that reminds me about sandwiches. And this is why I am willing to eat them, because I felt good because of this. So this is why also we relate the pancreas, which is the gland that creates the insulin, that is the hormone that goes through the blood, looking for the looking for the glucose, to bring it to the cells. We relate that gland with the plexus, which is things, the emotions, the the bonds that we have with others, the feelings, the sweetness, all of that. To understand the process of subconscious. The subconscious is like a library where all the information of all humanity has been stored through the process of living. So all the history of humans have been stored in a registry that we all share, and it's within our bodies. So all experiences of every minute has been registered in our cells. So this means that a lot of information, okay, that we have within is encoded since the very beginning of our civilization. And what happened in the very beginning of civilization? Not civilization, sorry, human, hominids. At the very beginning, humans were tiny little groups walking around the world in just family groups, maybe 3, maybe 10, but nothing more. So they were very easy prey for the predators, the other animals and other people that were hunting to survive. So we were not able to be sedentary. We had to be nomads. So we were running around. We have to go all over the planet, trying to look for food. And during the winter, it was the hardest part because there was no vegetables to eat, there was no fruit. So the only way that they found to survive was following the animals and sometimes kill one of them and eat them because there was nothing else to eat. So since the very beginning, during thousands of years, the humans have survived by eating meat. So meat for us was the basis of survival. And not only because they were eating the meat, but the animals gave so much more. They gave the how do you say, the fur for to cover winter, to make clothes. They gave bones to make tools. So they gave so many things, not only food, not only the meat, so the flesh. So what happened was that in our subconscious we relate meat with survival. We relate eating animals with feeling fine. Okay, so now, of course, from our point of view today, that we can go to supermarket to buy pumpkin now in this Halloween, sorry. So we can eat vegetables, but not all the countries can do that, because most of the countries, they had all the problems with some bacteria in the vegetables, so they still need meat in order to feel safe, to not to die of some disease. So we should not think about this from the point of view of our spirituality, our modern spirituality, that we may say, no, you don't have to kill animals. We have to understand history of humanity in order to understand why humans still eat meat to survive. This is something that is in our subconscious, okay? So basically, the subconscious is telling us about the way we feed ourselves through survival, because it's what we have to do in order to survive in this planet. The other level of feeding yourself is unconscious. And by unconscious, um, we mean society. So the next step is um, to understand that civilization created the culture when it could be settled, and they started to create the the settlements, sedimentarism. Uh, they created all this security in the civilization. So during this whole process, there was much more food, and people was able to exchange food, um, to buy, to sell food. So it was easier. Everyone could have a lot of things. So this created a new way of eating, which was not survival, but was to share. So from the very beginning, in at home, mom used to say you have to finish everything that is in your dish. So you have to eat it to make your mom happy, for example. So this creates a bound, a link with food that is much more emotional than to survive. Okay, so you start to relate food with the family. You start to relate food with friends, and you start to share with others, with friends, inviting people to eat at home to make them feel loved. And you understand that by food you are feeling part of something. So so you eat and you repeat and you eat what others are eating because you want to feel part of that society, of that group. Okay, so in past times, and even today, but in the past times, the kings and queens used to share the dishes of the kings and queens, so they could see that the food was not poison, that there were trust between each other, so there would be peace just by sharing the meal. Okay, so that is a good concept to understand the unconscious way, which is sharing, feeling love, trust when you share the food. So basically, in the unconscious, the feeding is about to feel yourself part of a group. So the third process would be the conscious way. And the conscious way is when you realize that you don't need to survive anymore, that you don't live to eat, and that also you are not willing to be part of anyone, of anything. Like, I don't need to belong to be accepted in any group. So you begin to take care of yourself, to think about what is good for you, besides what is good for you by culture or by survival, is when you just think, I have to feed myself with the energy that I need. So you start to wonder what your body really needs. So maybe you are feeling really heavy, so you don't need meat anymore because meat is very heavy in energy. So you don't need to eat more meat because it's very heavy. So maybe you want to feel more light, so you eat more vegetables, for example. So so you start to change your way of relation with the energy you are bringing in. Mm? So in that moment of consciousness, you stop just taking energy in of food because you need it. You just start to eat the energy of what you need. It's just a way of sharing the energy and exchanging energy than really um, storaging energy for yourself just in case. Hmm? Something that I want to say about this, about eating, the process of eating, is that some people are asking constantly, so what is the what is the real way of eating? What is the best way of eating? And I would say there's no way better than others. There is a way for each person because each body is different. You cannot eat just because someone says, no, this is the good thing to eat, because that's the good thing for their bodies, but not your body. You have to listen to your own body to see what your body wants to eat every day. But you have to be aware and conscious about what, from where you are eating it. If you are eating from the subconscious, which is I need it because I don't want to die, or you are eating by unconscious, which is I always ate that, so that's how always has been. So this is unconscious, okay, which is cultural. So when you are conscious about your process of feeding yourself, you start to listen to your body. You start to feel your body. And you realize what you need. And sometimes your body needs meat. And you should not feel guilty if you feel the need of meat. Because some people still are related with the memory of the cells that tells I need meat. Okay? So you should not stop eating something by guilty. You must become responsible of what you eat, but not feeling guilty, because there's a lot of people saying you have to change your way of eating, you don't have to eat this is killing animals, blah blah. And the cells doesn't understand moral, souls, or whatever. They don't understand that. They don't understand spirituality. Cells understand energy. That's it. So if they need meat, your body will need meat. So what you have to become is responsible in the way you eat, so you can start to change, okay, step by step, your way of eating. Okay, it's a process. You cannot say to others to change their way of eating to another just by morals. You have to teach and to show the process so the body can get used to a new way of eating. Okay, so it's a long process. You have been thousands of years eating the same things, so you will need not just one day to change your diet. To be responsible means to understand that you have to acknowledge why you are being addicted to eat or whatever to something, because because your cells are the first addicted of your body. They are addicted to energy. So you have to think about why you become addicted to some things. Okay, so you have to go to the origin of the first times, and not only because of food, also the people that smokes, the people that drugs themselves, all this needs that doesn't have any coherence and that are hurting your body. Okay, sometimes cells are asking for energy that is not good for them. So you have to acknowledge why I am eating this. So to be responsible is to start to perceive, to understand why I'm doing this, why it's doing me bad, how can I change, and slowly change the way you absorb the energy. So another thing to understand here is that the last one that appears is veganism. And veganism is not a way of eating, it's a way of living, it's a philosophy of life to protect the rights of the animals. Okay, so don't make a mistake thinking that it's just a diet. Okay, it's a philosophy of life. So another concept that I wanted to say about veganism is that um, that I know that veganism will be that this will be like the way of life for most of the countries in the future. So, of course, that veganism is something that will be natural in the future. Now it's like kind of a, I don't know, mode. I don't know how to say it. Like something new, but really, veganism will be the way of living of the future. So we have to understand that. We have to understand that in some day in the future, they will people will study what is happening now with the animals, like the Holocaust. Okay, it will be the same. Okay, so so this will be a law and lifestyle for the future. So no doubt about it. But the thing is that, remember, veganism is a culture, is a philosophy of life. So it will become a culture for a lot of people in the future, for entire civilizations in the future and short future. So we should not, as vegan people should not become like fascists of that culture. And why I say that without any problem to say it? Because fascism is when a culture tries to put over the other one, blaming the other one, and trying to make it disappear because they believe that they are better. Okay, that's a fascist. What vegan should do is educate, not impose a culture. Okay, we have to educate people to understand that the future will be vegan. So we have to make people understand that in a way that they love vegan, not hate vegan. Our goal is to make all the people to understand and love the culture of veganism for the future, not to try to get rid of them because you can understand them because they are fighting, you know. So this will be natural, and we need vegan teachers, no vegan fighters. Okay, it's a long process for a lot of people to understand. We have to educate the subconscious. Okay, one of the ways in which you can start to transform your own body is through fasting. And fasting would be like this tool to help you regenerate the potential of your of your own cells. Okay, so imagine that each one of the cells in your body is like a person in society. Today, our society is a consumist society. So it's consume constantly all the time. Well, our cells does exactly the same. We constantly eat and eat and eat. We receive all this information and we put in the cells constantly. So the cells are eating and eating and eating and eating constantly, like we do in our society. So the only way we have to relax and to stop consuming is to give a space, to give a moment for the cells to take a deep breath and to allow the potential of the cell to go out, because you are not allowing the cell to express its own potential because they are trying to process information constantly. So so what we have to do is to make some fasting, okay, a few hours, then a day, and so on. So we give a break to our cells. Okay, so it could transform itself. The process of fasting. Please, if you eat a lot, if you are usually an eater, um, don't stop eating and start the other day. Okay, no, never do that. You just lower your amount of food for a week. Okay, less and less and less until you just eat tiny little food like 5 times a day for a whole week, and then you just skip for a week the breakfast, and then another week the uh, main meal, then the dinner, and like that, and then you go back again with the meal, again with the dinner, with breakfast, and again with food. Okay, because don't point yourself like a goal to be a pranic person. Those who are pranis, perfect. For those who doesn't know what is a pranic person, are those that eat the energy of the environment, the energy of the light. The best light to absorb is the one in the sunrise and the one in the sunset. Okay, but just don't put the goal like becoming a pranist. No, no, no. Good for them that who has accomplished that, but it's not a goal. This is not a race to be pranist. No, this is give a break, holidays for the cells, and then you go back to work, and then again holidays, and then go back to work. It's something that you have to do sometimes, sometimes not. Okay, and that's it. So remember this: feeding yourself as a way of exchanging energy, and fasting as a way of regenerating your own self. I spoke too much and I should be sleeping. The vibration for today is Shia. Today we begin with the new group of 12 codes, which are the universal laws. The code for today is mentalism. The first law of the universe is also the only one. For all the rest, projections of this one. Everything in the universe is the pulse of the mind, which is divided into the trinity of the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious. We are all part of the thoughts of a synaptic network of the Creator's dream. And for that, through our mind, we can access this dream and become Him. The statement for today is, I am the evolution of the being. Sit yourself comfortable. If you want to lay down, to be stood up, sorry. I stretch the body, massage the body, and yawn. And I relax, letting all the weight fall down. Just focusing my breathing. I bring all my attention to my left foot, starting to move my toes and the ankle in very soft circles. I rise this movement to the knee and the hip by the left side. I bring my attention to my waist, turning and bending the body towards the left, feeling the pressure. Coming back to the center, start to move my fingers, my left hand, and my wrists in soft circles. I rise up this movement to the elbow and to the left shoulder. I begin to move my head from the neck in circles towards the left. And very softly, I start to move it towards the right. I descend this movement towards the right shoulder and then to the right elbow. I descend the movement to the right hand, wrist, and fingers. I start to bend my body towards the right, feeling the pressure in the waist. And I start to move the right hip and then the right knee. And I descend the tension to a circular movement in the right ankle towards the toes in my right foot. I pay attention to the energy of the I Am above my head. Take a deep breath and begin to bring the I Am through the crown with your imagination, helping it go down through the third eye, the throat, the heart, and anchoring in the pancreas, the solar plexus. With your two hands, press with the two fingers of each hand in your stomach, below your sternum, and above the the belly button, and start to make a massage in circles all around the stomach by the belly, and also down and below the last ribs. As I do this massage, pressing in my belly, I feel like if I am opening, pressing and moving from the belly onto till under the ribs, like opening a portal in your stomach, letting the yellow light of the plexus go out. I relax my hands and allow myself to perceive the energy of this light coming through my plexus. Take a deep breath, and through and by the vibration start to spread this light towards all directions. I am the evolution of the being. I am the evolution of the being. I am the evolution of the being. Take a deep breath and bring all this consciousness through each one of the joints we have been opening as portals, by stretching, yawning, and massaging. And each one at its own time, we open our eyes, coming back here and now. Bien. So, as always, I recommend you to drink a lot of water, to rest a lot, and see you tomorrow at the same time. Bye.